neck pain, shoulder tension, jaw pain, TMJ, headaches. Most people gravitate towards working the back of the neck, the head, the scalp, and that's super important. One of my favorite things to do. But I very much encourage you to look into your stern-o-cleid-o-mastoid, which is really fun to say, but it's also located on the front of your neck. So if you consider what we're doing all day, which is leaning forward, computing, mowing, pushing a stroller, whatever we're doing, it's mostly forward. So we're curling our body in, and the muscles of our neck get extremely tight and they get locked into this forward position. It feels very uncomfortable to do deliberately, but this is what we're dealing with. And so these muscles, so sternocleidomastoid, we can call it SCM. That's what we do. So SCM is one of my favorite muscles because it starts here behind the ear and it comes down the side of the neck and it splits. So it splits. So one end hits on your sternum and the other comes down and your clavicle. So it's really fun. It's fun to work. Be gentle and cautious because this can make people nauseous, but I highly suggest you learn how to work these yourself. So if you have to get into a mirror or start feeling around, but in the mirror, it will help at least for the visual for the first time until you get the feel of where this is. And then you can, loosen this area up on your own very easily. But give this a try. So you're in the mirror. Sorry about the face. So this is the head that's attached to my sternum here. And then it goes up. And here it comes down and hits my clavicle. Okay? And so clearly, if I'm hunched forward, this wonderful muscle is just going to get tighter and tighter, and it's going to be harder to keep our chin up, to walk with our posture correct, but also headaches, tension in the jaw, TMJ, and it's going to help if you relax this, your SCM, it's going to help relax what's going on in the back of your neck, which is probably what's crying the most. You don't realize that the front, the opposite side of where you're feeling that pain and tension could absolutely be playing a part there. So anyways, once you find this, you're gonna want to start where the meat is, which is here behind your ear. That's the thicker end of the muscle before the split. Now, don't be pushing into the middle here. You're going right here behind the ear. And like I said, you're gonna have to feel around for it. Now, most people's are very glued to their neck, their sternocleidomastoid. It really gets stuck. But once you find it, you'll be playing around like this and like little gentle massages. So I like to pincer it. You can, obviously, if it's affecting your voice, pull back. You're in the wrong spot. But it's like this big snake of a muscle. See, I mean, look at that. And she just gets stuck down to your neck. And what that means is that when you go to look behind your shoulder when you're driving, you're tight. You can't really do it. All right. And when you're feeling that tension in your jaw, can you see where having a very tight, dominating muscle is going to affect and pull on all these muscles here? How it's going to affect and pull on the back of your neck where you're feeling it, and your traps and your shoulders. So Nice slow breathing. Nothing's quick. You have to find this muscle. And it's just so rewarding. So when you're driving or stuck in traffic, you'll find yourself or watching a movie. My husband says don't do things like this while we're engaged in conversation. So it's really hard for me sometimes because, I don't know, it's multitask. But like I said, start at the top. Gentle in here. You don't want to push in. You want to push and slide your thumb into that muscle, right? I mean, since we're here, we might as well give the trap a little attention just for a second. We'll talk about that another time. And then very, very gently here, okay? Because you're right in the front of your throat, which is a tender bit. If this is uncomfortable for you, it's usually uncomfortable for most, but every single client I have ever had thanks me afterwards. During is like, whoa, that's intense, right? But go in gently, softly, and you'll see what you can do. But if that's pinned down to your neck, it's time to work on your stern-o-cleid-o-mastoid. And then also, I just have to talk about this word for a minute. You can abbreviate it, SCM. Many do, sure, no problem. But it might just roll around in your head all the time, and you like how many syllables it has, and it kind of rolls nicely off your tongue when you say it, even to yourself out loud. Don't forget to do both sides. And once you get midway here, and you'll feel the meat of the muscle gets thinner and more wiry, just be gentle. And you don't have to go all the way down like that, especially not with the same kind of movement. You know, it turns into a different body down here. And so if you really want to get the bottom here in a different way, you could certainly massage in your pecs, which are, they're so wonderful to massage, but also the return on investment is extreme because pecs really dominate what your shoulder does. We'll get into that next time, right? Because we could talk about shoulders forever. So stern-o-cleid-o-mastoid, both sides of the neck. And before you do this, first, while you're looking in the mirror the first time, check your range of motion. Take your deep breath in, you're breathing, and then right, left, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. See how that feels, right? And your mobility. And then try this out, try these techniques out. Again, just moving it a little bit. Just moving it a little bit, and you'll see, it feels great. It's gonna help give you more range of motion in your neck. You will be able to extend your longevity. So check it out, let me know what you think, and don't forget to hydrate.